Okay, let's go over example 2, which is graphing integers. The directions say graph each integer and its opposite. Oh, and this is part of chapter 6, section 1, integers. Okay, remember that integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So problem A, we're given the number 3. So down below, I've started drawing my number line. So I just kind of have the horizontal. Remember, horizontal is across, left and right. And then I have these arrows on each side. So those arrows mean that we could keep going on our number line forever and ever, never ending. But we only need, a part of, we don't need the whole, like forever and ever on our number line. We just need a certain amount of numbers. Okay, so first, though, we need to put 0 in the middle. And then let's go from there. So we have the integer 3. So I'm just going to count by ones on my number line. So, and I'm going to try and make the space between my numbers about the same amount of space. It might not be exact, but I'll try and do the best I can. Okay, so there's all my tallies. Now I'm going to label my tallies. So to the right of the number line is going to be my positive numbers. So 1, 2, and then 3. And then to the left is going to be negative numbers. So negative 1, negative 2, and then negative 3. Okay, so we need to graph 3. So 3 is right here on my number line. And then the opposite of 3, so let's see that. Let's count how many spaces. 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 spaces in the other direction. 1, 2, 3. That would be negative 3. And we know it's negative 3 because negative 3 is the same distance from 0 as 3. Okay, problem B is negative 2. Well, the first thing I'm going to do, though, is add my 0 on the number line. Right about there. About in the middle. Let's see, negative 2. I'm going to count by ones again. I'm going to try and keep my spaces the same distance apart for my tallies. Okay, and then I need to label my tallies. So for your homework, you're going to need to draw this on a sheet of paper and then take a picture of it and send it to me. So just like for most of your other homework assignments where you take a picture and send it to me. Now this time, there won't be anything to type on your document, but just taking a picture of this. So it's going to be pretty clear so I can see it. Okay, first let's graph our negative 2, because that's the number given to us. So negative 2 is right here. Let's count the spaces from 0. 1, 2 spaces from 0. So our positive integer, negative 2's opposite, needs to be also 2 spaces. So 1, 2. So the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. Okay, making my circle nice and big so we can see it pretty clear. Okay, our next number is 6. Okay, so first I'm going to get my 0 because we always have a 0 on our number line. Oops. Zero is in the middle. Okay, now 6. I don't really feel like drawing in 6 tallies. Could we count by something? We could count by 2s, right? That could be what we count by. So I'm going to add my other tallies, and then we'll label by 2s. Because if we had 6 tallies, that'd be kind of a lot to draw. Okay, okay, our first tally for counting by 2s would be 2. Oops, let's stick with the same color. I was using green for the numbers. Okay, so it'd be 2. And then if we keep counting by 2s, it'd be 4. And then 6. All right, so then to the left of 0 would be negative 2, negative 4, negative 6. Oh, I added an extra tally there. Okay, so I did that so I didn't have as many tallies. You wouldn't have to if you want to count by ones, that's fine, but I didn't feel like drawing that many, and you could count by twos, that's fine. So that would mean that the space between 0 and 2, that would be 1, if you needed to graph that as well. But we're graphing 6, so let's go ahead and do that. Now let's count our spaces. Now remember, each tally is 2, so it'd be 2, 4, 6 is the distance from 0. So in its opposite would be 2, 4, 6. So the opposite of 6 is negative 6. Okay, one more example here. Negative 10. Let's add our 0. And I'm going to add my tallies right away, and then let's decide what we should count by. What could we count by so we don't have 10 tallies, because that's a lot? Well, 10 is even, right? So we could count by 2s again, but that would still be quite a bit. We could count by 5s. Let's do that. So if we're counting by 5s, this first tally would be 5, and then 10. Now we could stop there, but I did add those extra tallies, so I'll go ahead and label them. 15, 20. Okay, so then to the left of 0, our negative numbers would be negative 5, and then negative 10, negative 15, and then negative 20. Okay. All right, so first let's graph negative 10. Nice and big so we can see it pretty clear on our number line. And so it's right on the number line too. It's not like up above or down below, but it's right on the line. Okay, let's count our spaces from 0. So I'm going to start at 0 and count backwards. So this first tally is 5, and then the next tally is 10, or negative 5 and then negative 10. So it'll be 5 spaces, 10 spaces, okay? And 5, 10. Okay, so the opposite of negative 10 is positive 10. Okay, and that's it.